Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nesta Can and Caprice.
That's me.
And tonight in the studio, we have a special guest who goes by the name of Rhonda.
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome to the show, Rhonda.
Welcome.
Long time. Can you just speak up in the mic, sweetie?
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's get right into it. Tell us about your business. What's it? Macrine healing? Sorry, I don't want to mess it up. Sorry.
90% of people do, so it's fine. You pronounce it Meraki.
Meraki
Healing Energy.
Meraki Healing Energy.
Yes.
Tell us about, your business.
So yeah, Meraki, my baby, was founded in 2020, literally right before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Brand new.
And the meaning behind Meraki, the word itself, it means to create something from your soul. So that really stuck out to me.
Right.
I like that.
And because, my business is based off of energy healing and just, all tools that require people to heal, I said Meraki Healing Energy. And it just flowed.
It flows, yeah.
I get that.
So I just stuck with that. And it's just been a beautiful journey. I'm getting emotional just speaking about it because I just feel like everything just flowed in the development of Meraki. Again, I came out with the business right before the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, as everyone's lives, changed
drastically,
in a positive way or a negative way. And I would say mid-pandemic, I ended up getting fired from my job.
Oh, wow.
Because, I couldn't go back into the office because at that particular time around August 2020, New York City had implemented that, remote learning for it to be mandatory. And I have 3 children, for those who don't know.
Okay.
My oldest is about to be 16. I have a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old. So if you can imagine remote learning 3 kids. And also trying to find somebody to put that responsibility on as well. It's difficult, especially with everything going on. So I made a choice. Well, I should actually say that particular company made me choose between coming in to work and being a mom. And of course,
Companies are awful.
My role as a mom first.
Of course,
it was a very devastating time because I went from making 6 figures to now trying to figure out how I was going to make ends meet and have income come in. And the worry and the anxiety kicked in. But by the grace of, the divine, I just made a sole decision to just be brave and courageous and take that leap. And I just literally started putting all of my energy into the business. And by November 2020, the website was launched.
Nice.
Yeah, and all my blood, all my blood, sweat, and tears literally came to life. With my support team. Shout out to Denise from Stafford 99. She literally worked with me to create the website, and it just came to life, and it was just so beautiful. And since then, the business just has grown. Me putting just a lot of effort into marketing and just expanding and making so many new connections, and it just continues to blossom. And I'm just extremely grateful for just taking that leap, because I know that's difficult for a lot of people.
It's very scary too.
Very, very, very.
It takes a lot of courage, bravery.
Because it's not like it's me by myself. I have a family. So it's everyone's in your ear, just go get another job and, do this. You need that stability and security. But a huge part of me was just I have to do this. I started it in the hopes of getting it to where it needed to be. But I was also being realistic. Look, I have a full-time job. I'm a mom, full-time mom. It's trying to put my energy into the business. It probably wouldn't as blossom as much as it would have if I put 100% of my energy into it. So, yay!
Everything worked out.
Wow, that's really bold story. I always get blown away when people take that leap, faith in things like that.
It's not easy.
It's motivation. That fearlessness. Even if you do have a little bit of fear, it's still courageous to do something like that, and to follow through. I think it's great.
Yeah, but they say when your back is against the wall, you really get to see who you are as a person.
That's true.
A lot of things happen.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it was just a plethora of emotions.
Yeah.
Like I have my moments where I was just like, oh my God, like what am I doing? And then it's just like, am I doing this right? Like, is this gonna take off the way that I want it to? And just got in an energy of just remaining present and just understanding like, look, this is my first business. Like, it's going to come with the ups and downs, and just more so of having a mindset of just learning and adapting. I think most importantly.
Now, for those who have a problem with like remaining in the moment, well, how did you do it? How did you? And is there any sort of method that you use to kind of center yourself and ground yourself into the moment?
Yes. I would say one element is speaking life into myself.
Okay.
In those moments that I became, discouraged in regards to a lot of elements and aspects, it's just more so of like that moment when you're just by yourself and I'm closing my eyes and I'm just like, Rhonda, you got this. Like, don't give up on yourself. Like, it's for me, it's more than just, the business Meraki Healing Energy. It's me too, because it's a huge part of me. It's a huge part of what I do. And it's like, I don't want to give up on me. You know what I mean? Right. So I would have those moments where I'm like, I'm grounded and I'm centered. And I'm just like, Rhonda, I know it's hard, but don't give up. Like,
that's really good.
That's good. Yeah.
That's really good. I gotta give her. That's really good, because that's not easy to do.
And then also I would say like just the inspiration and the motivation from my children, most importantly. Yeah. Those moments where I'm like working my butt off and, I have my son saying like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm creating a flyer you want to see. And, I always try to incorporate them into allowing them to see, what it is that their mom is putting so much energy into.
That's going to stick with them, trust me. They're going to grow up seeing that.
I really hope it does. Yeah. That's the goal.
Now, it's very clear that the pandemic was the catalyst, or at least the motivation for this journey. But when did you know that you had something going on with healing and things of that nature?
I would say from when I started, my personal spiritual journey about a decade ago, I always felt like Reiki was a huge part of me, and it wasn't a coincidence that I kept running into people, that either practiced Reiki or knew about the practice or actually, Reiki masters. So I just took that as, okay, moving forward, I kept aligning myself, like the universe just kept aligning me with the particular individuals that I had to cross paths with to just learn more. And it's crazy because about late 2018, I started doing research to see who I wanted to work with to get my level 1 certification, because with Reiki, there's 3 levels. You have your level 1 certification, level 2, you're able to do distance healing, and then the level 3, you're a Reiki master. So I started doing that like late 2018, and then 2019, about, I would say September, October, I actually started my tantric certification. So I started that before the Reiki. And it was just more so of trying to fit everything, because at that particular time I was still working full time. I actually was in the midst of getting promoted again at the company that I was working with, managing more individuals. So it was a lot. But yeah, I just felt like Reiki was just a huge part of my path in general. And as you move forward in your own journey, you just every, so often, like couple months into years, you end up discovering what your true life purpose is. And it was this one particular moment. It was very weird. I was actually on my way to work on a LIRR. And this like older woman came to me and she sat next to me. She was like, can I sit here? And I was like, sure. And she was like, you just have a healing aura about you. Like there's something about you that's healing. And it's those moments where it's just like, this is not by accident.
Oh, of course
not.
Of
course not. Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah, so I just felt like, healing was just a huge part of who I am. my nurturing side, my feminine side, and I just took that leap moving forward, and I was just like, I'm gonna be a Reiki healer. And then Tantra came along. I didn't plan on doing anything Tantra, but about, I would say, 2016, I had went to one workshop in the city, and after that, I was just like drawn, and I was just hooked. And once I started implementing Tantra into my own personal lifestyle, I said, I have to put people onto this. So that's when I was just like, yeah, it's Reiki Tantra.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my next question. I was going to ask you about the Tantra healing. Like, what is that about? Like, let people know.
Yeah. So Tantra, just to simplify it, it's a certain practice that allows you to reconnect with self and also develop a very intimate like connection with self. It's a beautiful journey of self-discovery when I tell people what Tantra is, and that's what it means to me. And it's such a broad spectrum. There's so many genres of Tantra. You have yoga, you have meditation, you have sex, you have so many variants and components. And what Tantra means, like in Sanskrit, is to expand. So whenever you implement Tantra into your lifestyle, you're expanding that particular lifestyle. So I took the route of particularly healing, the massage, tantric massage. So pretty much what I do is that I focus on certain pressure points by the pelvic area and also the genitals of men and women to allow them to release unwanted energy or stagnant energy, and to allow them to now feel free and open and have their energy, rise because of things that we've been through in our lives, whether it's, certain events, trauma, abuse, molestation, all these things we can hold on to, and we're not sure why we have certain pains in certain areas, or why we have certain emotions even during the act.
That's very true.
Particularly with men, I get a lot of feedback in regards to they're always in their head in regards to performance. And that's actually...
He gave me that look. We both looked at each other. He's giving like, I have something to say.
Just let it talk. Don't worry about it.
It's actually... it can actually be a component or relation to an emotional connection when it comes to self-confidence. So, how I like to explain it to others is that everything is interconnected, mind, body, and spirit. So, when it comes to Tantra, it's really a very like heart chakra, sacral chakra connection, because your emotions, when your heart is open, you can receive. You can also give as well. And I feel like it's a huge component of allowing yourself to open up, especially sexually. And again, sexual energy is a very powerful energy.
Very.
It creates life. So I also, teach people certain practices on how to implement that into their daily lives to manifest and just change their overall outlook on life and their environment as well.
Yes.
Now, do you include like hertz, like sounds, sound bathing, or anything?
Sound healing, yes. I actually offer crystal healing therapy, which is a service where certain particular crystal grids are created based off of, what the client is coming in for. And I'll base it off of that particular grid. So say if someone comes to me and they're like, well, I'm considering, coming in for crystal healing therapy. I feel like I have a blockage of emotions, or I want to release emotions. I would create a particular crystal grid just for that. And then I'll use my note F, which is the chakra, heart chakra. And I'll play the sound healing along with wind chimes, along with other particular instruments to help amplify the session.
Yeah. I also see you're doing something with the tarot reading cards.
Yes, so I've been tarot reading for about almost 12 years.
Oh, wow. Seasoned vet.
I would say like more 16 years, like when I finally like had the courage to get my first deck, but I've been reading for people for about 12 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. How long does a session usually take?
Depending on what service. So on average, energy healing session with Reiki is about an hour. Again, it can go a little under or a little over, because I feel like every service, there's literally a therapy session afterwards.
What's a lot of the problems that you that people come to you with, like, you know, the blockages and things like that? What's kind of the commonality of situations that you come across?
I would say childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma. Okay. And obviously that can mean a plethora of things, and you don't have to go into detail. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I totally lost it. It's gone.
All right. Well, I had a question. Products. Do you sell any products for your business?
Yes.
I saw you with some kind of herbs or something like that in the pictures.
So I've been in the books and the encyclopedias. I have so many herbal books that I've literally been dabbling in the past 3 years. And first with just researching, learning, combination of herbs, what not to mix with what. And I ended up just using them for myself and just seeing the benefits of it. I've always kind of been like more so of a holistic type of, person, where it's just like I refuse to take like the Theraflus and the Tylenol and all that stuff. I'd rather do everything more holistic, a natural way.
Yeah.
So here comes Rhonda with the herbs, making the teas and stuff like that. And then about 2 years ago is when I had my first yoni steam session with a good friend that actually has a place out in the city. And she moved to Florida, though. Now she's no longer here. And when I went through that experience, I said, I got to create my own steams. And I knew that when I was creating Meraki and what I wanted Meraki to be, I knew that I was going to implement products. And the beauty about Reiki energy is that you can infuse anything that is plant-based, that is life-based. So that includes herbs as well. So I wanted to Reiki infuse a lot of my products. So I came out with an entire women's line of particular yoni steams, and I Reiki infused them. So what I'm doing is that I'm actually putting Reiki energy into the steam. So when a woman does do her vaginal steam, she's able to get the Reiki energy to open up the root and the sacral chakra to amplify her healing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. That's deep and amazing, yeah.
Just to pull back for a minute, with this whole pandemic thing, I've heard a lot of people who are spiritual, like yourself, kind of say that there's an awakening happening. Do you believe that? Like, because of what's happened, because we're forced to, stay indoors and kind of reconnect with ourselves? Do you think that had something to do with this, like, awakening of people becoming more spiritual?
Absolutely. I feel like one of the key components of someone really starting their journey to awakening is solitude. When you have to sit with yourself, it's a very hard thing.
It's not easy.
Yeah. When it's just you alone and it's like no one, no phone, no distractions, like no one around. And I feel like a lot of people were kind of forced into that situation. And when you're able to really see life from a different pair of lens, which I feel like the pandemic allowed certain people to see, like, wow, like, what am I doing? Like, have I really been doing this for 4 years straight, just getting up, going to work, coming home, and that's it? You know, wow, I've been procrastinating. I literally left this project sitting here. Oh, but now I have the time to put some energy into it. So I feel like that is a huge component. I know when I started my own spiritual journey, I had to sit with myself. I was in solitude for about 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I still had to get up, go to work, you know, take care of home. But I spoke to my children and I let them know what kind of environment I wanted to create for myself. And they respected my space. They would come and knock on the door and, you know, say, Mommy, could I come in? And I'm like, sure. You know, and then I'll have my moments where I say, okay, guys, like you guys go into Shemaya's room and, you know, Mommy needs, you know, a few moments to herself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And sitting with myself, I was able to really start understanding who I was at that particular moment and who I also wanted to become.
Now, when you were sitting with yourself, did you have to kind of face like any negativity?
Yes. So a part of my solitude at that particular time was doing shadow work. So with shadow work, it was a lot of journaling, literally me writing down experiences that I went in my life, either positive or negative, and writing back to myself on how I would have approached things differently. And a lot of the negative perspectives were experiences that I've been through where I never said a word to anyone and I just kept it inside. And I had a lot of moments in that particular, you know, space where I cried a lot. I released a lot. It was my form of finally letting certain stuff go. And it's a process. It's not easy because you literally have to sit with the dark side of yourself and understanding that there were certain habits, certain ways that I was portraying onto myself, a lot of self-sabotage where it's just like, you can't do this moving forward. So some kind of change has to be implemented. It's some real work.
Yeah, I've heard shadow work has a lot to do with like a thing called ego death as well. Is that
Because you know, I feel like we just live in an ego-driven society.
Yes, we do.
And we want to hear the compliments and the words and the phrases and the actions that feed our ego. But in all reality, we really have to face the fact that, you know, while we're feeding our ego or while our ego is protruding itself, our soul lies dormant. And that's the fulfillment to true happiness. And I feel like this pandemic has allowed people to really look past ego and really ask themselves, what am I doing? Like, am I happy right now with the way my life is? And I feel like a lot of people are starting to tap into spirit. They're starting to feel their soul, or they have the urge to fulfill, you know, a soul purpose. And it's a beautiful thing,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
I'm seeing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And, you know, although I feel like there is, in the spiritual community, there is falsehoods. I feel like in any community, though, there's always people trying to scam or to get ahead. And I always tell people, you know, create a relationship with yourself to the point where you know yourself so well, you build your intuition so well that you know who you're aligned to go to. Like, I never tell. I speak to people all the time, and they're like, you know, should I come to you for this? And I'm like, that's if you feel comfortable. I will never force someone to come to me for service, because I also know a lot of other practitioners, you know, and I'm like, you know, do what you feel is right. If you feel that it's right to come to me, if you feel comfortable, most importantly, then let's talk or let's book a session, you know. But I always tell people, do what you feel is for you, not because someone's telling you. And, you know, I feel like I've learned that as a practitioner, especially over the last couple of years, is that I can always give my perspective. I can always give my advice. but I want people to really do the research for themselves. Like gravitate to something that you feel like your heart just wants to embrace, that your soul just wants to embrace. Not because I told you to do this, this, and that, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds like you can lead a horse to drink, but you can't, to water, but you can't force him to drink type thing.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Do you feel like your lifestyle before versus like now, do you feel like lighter? More at ease, less stress.
Because I didn't know until I bumped into you on social media. Like I was like, wow, she's into that now. It's a complete 360 from last time I spoke to you.
Because Nesta knows, like we when he was DJing, like
DJ Nesta.
like we go so back, from high school, and even like my early 20s, like I used to always link up with him and go to like the clubs he used to DJ with. Like I was a party animal, so I had to but I kind of feel like I had to get that out of my system. And also being a young mom, I had my first daughter around 21, 22. So I really didn't get to experience my adulthood per se, taking on that responsibility so young. So he knows, like, he used to party it up. But you get to a point where, again, you realize it's not fulfilling for the soul. And don't get me wrong, like, I still love a good fet. Like,
it's all right, I'll give you that. Shout out to fets.
It's in my blood. Like, I'm Caribbean. So,
where are you?
Family's from Grenada.
Oh, okay.
So, it's in my blood, and, I've played mass from when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
So, that's something that I love. It's my culture.
It's your culture, yeah.
But I feel like at this point in my life, I'm doing it because I want to, not because I feel like I need to, or I'm trying to impress someone, or I'm doing it because, my friend asks, like, oh, let's go to such and such, and I know deep down in my heart I don't want to go. But I'm still like, oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah. So what does you time look like?
Ooh.
Because during this, you're basically a service for other people. You give a lot of your time, energy, emotional energy, all that, mental energy, all that to others, to help others fix their blockades and all that stuff. So what about you? What does you time look like? What do you like to do? What do you enjoy?
Me time. Oh man. Okay, so that's a list. I love my baths.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I love taking like my self-care days. I love taking, herbal baths. It can conclude anything from roses, particular herbs, lavender. It can be a bubble bath. It can be a coconut milk bath. I'll have an array of candles and, crystals around my tub and lights off, and I have my, my beat playing. And I'm just like 20, 30
That's a vibe.
minutes. Yeah. I got my R&B.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to R&B. We were just talking about that.
The 90s R&B.
Yeah.
And I'm just, and I sometimes, like, I have a glass of wine.
Because why not?
And like even like a CBD roll. And I'm just like...
That's a vibe. That's a complete vibe. You painted a lovely picture. Lovely.
Tell me about it.
Also, a lot of people may not know, but I love to dance. I've always loved to dance. I've danced from like elementary, like all the dance groups and stuff like that. But I actually love doing ballroom.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Anywhere from bachata, salsa, merengue, tango, waltz. Literally all the ballroom dances, and there's a lot of studios out in the city. Shout out to Empire Ballroom.
Shout out to Empire.
Unfortunately, I had to stop because I choose not to be vaccinated. And
they didn't want you back in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Mandate.
Hopefully, facts.
What are you guys doing? Just the worst.
Hopefully, as I know New York City is starting to progress to no mask, and hopefully the mandates get lifted so I can get back in there. But I have a true love for dance. Like and just the movement. And I think for me more so is just the divine feminine energy that it brings out of me, because for men and women, when you move the hips and you're just moving the pelvis. And also I feel like the connection and the interaction when you're actually dancing with a partner, and for a masculine to take the lead, it has a,
it falls into place. Yeah, it's very sensual. Yeah, I get it.
Also, let's see, self-care. I'm a huge anime fan.
Oh my! Oh, don't even say that. Don't get this guy started.
I'll top you there. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. You a hater.
When someone comes to my anime, I'm like, oh.
So I'm a huge anime fan. I've been into anime from like, oh my God, like so bad to the point where I never forget, like before, like, me and my older brother, like we used to get our hands on like the Dragon Ball Z sagas, like still in Japanese. But when, before they introduced, DBZ to Cartoon Network, we used to watch it on the Spanish channel.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Like that's how bad.
That's great. You needed your fix. I get it. I totally get it.
But yeah, anime, either watching it by myself or with my daughter, who like I literally feel like I turned into the biggest anime.
That's
like I feel like
awesome.
She's like worse than I am.
That's awesome.
She's watched over about 200 different animes, and she has an entire list. And we'll either sit down and watch certain animes together, and she'll be like, look, I found this one, and or I'll watch it myself. The one I'm currently watching is JoJo's Adventures.
Ooh,
I'm on season 5 with the daughter.
So
do you know about that?
Of course I do. Come on. I do. People sleep on anime. It's not just cartoons. There's like real life lessons in anime. I'm telling you, watch Naruto. It'll change your life.
Yes.
It'll change your life. Real deep stuff.
I that's what I tell people. It's not more so of the animation feel or like the cartoon vibe. It's so much deeper than that.
The lessons, right?
And that's one thing that I can appreciate about Japanese culture in general, is the fact that they implement a lot of soul level reality. From Naruto to so many others. I don't know if you watched the Death Book.
Oh, I love Death Book.
Yes, and also
Death Note, right?
Death Note. Yeah. And also, JoJo's Adventures, like especially season 3, like it gravitated, it pulled me in once they started talking about tarot. So it's just so many implements, I feel, of divination and just spiritual practices that you see.
She's so right. She got so right. She's so right.
So yeah, I love watching anime on my self-care, and I would just say just being in my energy, and it can be anything from me just listening to music, me meditating, me going to get a mani-pedi, and also a massage, because I want to be loved on too.
Yeah. Of course. That makes sense. Yeah.
So it's a combination of all, honestly.
Now you mentioned meditation. What do you what's some of your practices when you meditate?
So I like to particularly meditate. I love doing guided meditations.
Okay.
So the difference is that with guided meditations, there's a voice literally taking you through the entire meditation. And again, there's so many types. There's meditations for self-love. There's meditations for releasing grief and loss.
The grounded ones.
Yeah, centering. So I love to do guided meditations. I actually did a whole playlist of chakra guided meditations. I started my YouTube channel late December.
Oh, wow. Gotta follow that.
Want to subscribe and check that out. You can just type in Meraki Healing Energy, and you'll see the list of all chakra meditations. Awesome. I love to do guided meditations, and I do mine a little different. I lay down, and I actually incorporate crystal grids with my meditations as well. So sometimes, like, I'm in deep, and it takes me a lot to actually, like, come back.
Oh, you go that deep. Wow.
Yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of crystals do you use?
Oh man. I have a list.
Yeah. Wow. Well, okay. So let's shorten. What's your favorite crystals? Like the.
Oh man. All right, I'll give my top 3 because I can't just pick one.
Okay, that's
I would
fair.
say like crystals that I use every single day, crystals that I have by my bed, that I carry in my purse. Pyrite is one of them. Pyrite is an amazing stone, just not only for manifesting, but it's a very powerful money stone. So
Pyrite,
I like
okay.
to keep pyrite in my wallet. I have one in my wallet. And I also like to work with pyrite when I'm doing any kind of like candle magic or manifestation spells. Just the overall energy, very good for the root chakra. So it allows you to stay grounded. And what a lot of people don't know is that when your root chakra is open, when it's balanced, that is your prosperity and abundance awakener. So you can pull in and attract that money very easily.
Right.
When the root chakra is open. So let's see, pyrite. I love, oh my God, it's so.
I know so many out there.
So many, yeah.
Let's see.
What color is pyrite? Is that the purple one?
It's like, so it looks like, they call it like AKA fool's gold. So it kind of looks like, it looks like gold, like a gold cluster, but it's like has hues of gold and silver in it. I can show you guys after. I carry one in my wallet and in my bag. I would say my next stone is obsidian.
That's a good one.
I love obsidian. It's a very, very powerful protective stone. It also keeps me centered and grounded. Another root chakra. I tend to gravitate towards a lot of root chakra stones. Personally, for me, I do a lot of work on my root center and my heart center. So I feel like as a person, you end up attracting yourself, or like say if you're in a crystal shop and you're like, ooh, I like this, to really do the research in regards to that crystal, because you'd be surprised what chakra is actually related to. And, 9 times out of 10, it's a chakra that you need particular work on. And let's see, last but not least, I would say Amon is Amazonite. Amazonite is it's like an aqua colored, like bluish green. It's a heart chakra stone. It portrays love, empathy, compassion.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, I have a lot of Amazonite in my collection, and it's also a stone that I carry with me a lot. And I would just say one more recently that I've just been gravitated towards is orange calcite.
I've never heard of that either.
Very powerful sacral chakra.
Oh, I will be looking into that.
I've been doing a lot of work on the second chakra for the past year. So that's just, I've been going crazy. Like every time I go to a crystal shop, I'm like, where's the orange calcite?
do you always moonbathe them as well?
So I actually cleanse my stones different.
Okay.
I like to either let them recharge in the sun.
Oh, in the sun. Okay.
Sometimes I have very huge cellulite wands. So for those who aren't familiar with cellulite crystals, they are actually the top main crystals that don't have to be charged.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They charge other stones. Very powerful. So I have like a 3-pound like cellulite wand.
Wow.
And it's about this long. So whenever I feel like I need to recharge some of my stones, I'll just line them on top of the wand and recharge them that way. And I also like to just use like Plio Santo or even cigar smoke to cleanse my stones.
Cigar smoke.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. It's different.
Huh, that's interesting. I've never heard of cigar. I've recently come across some information saying that cigar smoke is actually good for you? I don't know. I didn't do any hardcore research on that, but
good for you. It's more so for energy cleansing.
okay.
Cigar smoke can be a substitute to like your regular sage or
Oh,
Playa
yeah.
Santo.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I use cigar smoke a lot, especially for rituals and spells.
Do you also have an altar as well?
Yeah, altar, yeah.
Yes, my altar is huge.
Yeah, with the stone, the size that you were saying, I guess.
Yeah, my altar is a combination of statues, pictures, stones, offerings. You know, you have to pay respect and give homage to your ancestors. They've paved the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, my altar is literally a concoction of all of that and so much more.
Yeah.
My aunt, she usually does this ritual where she burns this
Sage?
not sage. It's like this. It's not really money, but
It's like it's
black
like
chalk?
paper.
it is like paper.
Okay.
It's paper like dollar bills. It's not real money.
Yeah, it's not real
Okay.
money. But you put you put your desires or something like that, and you burn it, and you know.
I like to call that a manifestation
Yes.
check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She likes to do that a lot.
Yeah, I grew up. My mom, she does all that stuff you're into. I've been learning about it since I was in Barton.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, she has all. To go to her room, she doesn't let me go inside there when she's not home because you know she has her own personal sacred space, altars and burning sage, and she also with the chakras.
Yeah.
She also wants me to go back into the way she raised me, like going within and meditating and all that stuff because that's the way I was raised. But as time goes on, I kind of strayed away from it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and it's important being a parent of 3. I never want to force who I am upon all of them. So they just observe, and like my kids will crack jokes on me. Oh, she's cleansing the space from evil spirits. Like they'll do stuff like that. But I want them to gravitate towards, certain practices on their own. I'll never force. Even my 6-year-old, like I started working with him with just sitting down and just trying to connect with his mind without speaking and just kind of gaining that particular discipline. And, over the past couple years, like he wouldn't even sit down for 30 seconds, but now he'll sit with me for at least 5 minutes. And for me, that's huge.
That's huge, yeah.
So yeah, it's something that I'll never force upon my kids. They literally just gravitate towards it. Like my oldest, she's about to be 16 and she's heavily into astrology. My 12-year-old a couple months ago, she came to me and she was just like, I want a tarot deck. So I brought one for her, something that was very simplified and actually had the meanings of the particular card on it, so she can start studying.
That's good.
So that's how I want the relationship to be. It's like I want them to come to me. I don't ever want to force anything on them.
So you see, like all 3 of them are kind of like into it a little bit of what you're doing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
They're all kind of dipping their toe.
Dipping their toe.
Yeah, like my son, he's very heavily gravitated towards stones. Like he always goes after the big ones. Like he's the one that'll pick up the 2-pound rose quartz. And I'm like, put it down because you don't want it to fall on your foot, you know. But he's heavy into that. And then when I have my singing bowls out, like he's like, bring ding, bring bing. So yeah, they're all gravitated towards some particular aspect in regards to my spirituality. But I love them so much. Like they're just like 3 beautiful souls, and I'm just like, sometimes it's like I'll look at them and I'm like, wow, like look at them, like they're growing so fast, and it's just like I see a bit of me in all 3 of them.
It kind of motivates you to keep going.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always want to know what that feels
Yeah,
like.
I know, right?
That's dope.
Do you have like a store, or you do most of the stuff online, your products?
Yeah, so for right now, all products are online.
Yeah.
Services are booked online. I just actually switched from treating to my home to now a space right by Union Square Park since late November. It's been amazing. It's a very nice space. It's not too big, not too small, but the energy is amazing, and I've literally been able to just create magic in that space. The goal is for Meraki moving forward is to have a storefront, right. Because I want to be able to not only sell my products, I want to sell, you know, crystals, books, anything holistic. And I also want treatment space, and also a room dedicated to particularly just vaginal steaming. So it can be group sessions, individual. So yeah, that is the goal in the future.
It's weird that you mentioned that, because every time you mention vaginal steaming, we had a guest on here, and you see she's a mutual friend of yours, Isis.
Yeah,
she does.
She's dope.
You probably know who she is.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, she does.
Actually, follow her. I love her page.
Yeah,
Divine
she does.
Secret Space.
Yeah, Divine. Yeah, she's on the show twice.
Bought some of her products. Super dope.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys have like the same thing with the whole vaginal steaming thing.
Yes. It's you know, vaginal steaming has definitely changed my life in the aspect of me just tuning in more to my feminine energy, and then also just the healing aspect of a lot of what women go through, as far as, you know, just the reproductive system. I've had 3 cesareans, so just being able to use vaginal steaming to heal that, you know, leftover scar tissue, and you know, the other nuances, you know, like discharge and so many other things that women experience. So it has changed my life tremendously for the better. I look forward to my vaginal steaming. It's my like sacred space. I treat it as such. Candles, crystals, you know, I usually play like Oshun mantras and you know, and I just, you know, relax.
Oshun, is
My
that
mom was into that artist Oshun.
Is that the ohms and the chanting? Is that what that is? What's that?
So it's a particular mantra, just in dedication for her. Certain hymns that, you know, they sing in regards to calling, you know, I call her Mother Goddess Oshun. I gravitate towards her tremendously. And she's an Orisha.
Okay.
So it's from the Yoruba practices, Africa.
Yeah.
And she's the goddess of fertility, of grace, of love.
Oh, okay.
And sensuality. So I usually play a lot of her mantra music during my vaginal steamings.
Okay. How often do you usually do that?
I usually vaginal steam twice a month. So about a couple of days after my menstrual cycle is done, I'll do my first steam. And then about a couple of days when I know I'm supposed to get my menstruation again, I'll vaginal steam again.
And you feel a difference? You feel...
Oh, yes. No cramping. No, like... you know, odor, no discharge. Like it's literally like a very high functioning operational system.
Wow.
Maybe a lot of women should do this, because during that time, a lot of women get really bad cramps.
Yeah, but
they take a lot of pills like Midol and all these aspirin.
Yeah,
and stuff like
all that. But see, is it? I know every woman can do this, right?
Yes.
So what do you think is stopping a lot of women from, you know, going this
Lack
direction?
of information, maybe?
You think?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Lack of knowledge. And then also, again, if a woman is accustomed of just having a certain type of lifestyle and she looks at vaginal steaming as something like, whoa, wait.
Taboo.
Yeah,
voodoo.
Not only that, because my oldest daughter does vaginal steam as well. You know, for the past couple months, and when she did her first vaginal steam, you know, she's like, "Oh my God, this feels funny." You know, so it's also if it's something that someone feels comfortable with as well.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I'm going to have to
and let your lady know about vaginal.
Yeah, I mean, she's heard about it, but maybe I'll have to.
I mean, for personally speaking, you know, it has helped tremendously. Even like orgasmically, I created my own personal vaginal steam that I sell as well.
Go on.
It's called Sex Magic.
Wow.
And also the Perfect Yoni. That's another steam that I sell on the website, both to kind of enhance orgasmic potential and also increase the libido. You know, because I do get a lot of questions in regards to both men and women in particular. You know, like my husband wants to do it all the time and this, or, you know, questions about vaginal dryness. The Sex Magic one caters to that. A good amount of herbs that I incorporated to make sure that, you know, down there is moist when it needs to be. And then I have a healing steam that's just catering to just really focusing on opening, balancing, and healing the sacral and root chakras. So yeah, there's different varieties for different things.
And this is all on your website?
Yes.
Oh, I think you gotta let people know. Right?
Like,
that's right. Yeah, we got like 15 more minutes left.
Visit
So
MerakiHealing.online. You can see the products, the services. I also came out with a men's health line.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's talk about it.
So yeah, so
We be needing help.
no, right?
So I created a tea, a herbal tea specifically for men, catering to replenishing the nutrients, minerals, and vitamins that you lose after ejaculation.
Wow.
That is a thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, that's true.
So that tea is on the website. And then I also created an enhancing oil. So similar to my yoni oil that I've created for the women's health line, I created an enhancing oil for men. You can use it with your partner. It's safe, all organic, you know, oils, natural herbs. And, you know, if you're in that alone time moment, you can use that as well.
So it's like a substitute, not a substitute, but, you know, some guys can't get up. It's like something like that. It helps you get up. So you don't need to take Viagra.
No.
Oh, Viagra. You should never take Viagra.
One of the herbs that actually the makers that created Viagra is in that oil. Yeah, and that's why I always like to tell people, like, if you do use some kind of like pharmaceutical version of something, always do the research and see where, you know, they're actually creating these particular pills.
So you're saying goat weed is not good?
Horny goat weed is safe. Again, I feel like you just have to know the specific amounts. That's actually one of the ingredients in my Sex Magic vaginal steam for my women. But I only use a pinch because, again, you know, you don't want to be
crazy out here in the streets. I can respect that.
What would you say is unique about your business? You know,
what's unique about my business is it has my touch, it has my energy.
You don't feel her energy?
yeah.
You know, you remind. This just the same. Remember the young lady who was, you know, sitting in the hot seat before? She had that same energy. Like, you just feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Which one?
The one we were just talking about.
Oh, Isis?
Oh, yeah, okay,
She had the same, that energy. You can just feel it pouring off of them. You have that same, it's really like, it's intense. And I don't know how people get like that. How does that happen? I don't know.
I mean, it comes with evolution and just like, you know, just tapping into who you are, your true essence, I like to call it.
Right.
You know, you can be subjected to so much that this world surrounds you by. But when you're truly tapped into self, I feel like you just carry a particular energy. And like, I just walk around here.
That's amazing.
Lighten up people's lives. And, you know, I've always been told, especially by my own spiritual advisor, that has literally supported me throughout my entire journey over a decade now. You know, he says that I have a magical power, and that power is that I'm able to bring out the magic from others.
I gotta give you one of these.
I don't want to bring this up. What sign are you?
I'm a Cancer sun. So I'm a Cancer sun, Leo moon, and Capricorn rising.
Okay.
Oh, that was a very unique answer.
Which month are you born? You born which month? Cancer's like July, right?
July 1st. I'm July 1st.
Oh, Independence Day, yeah.
July 1st.
I don't know what that means, but you know, I only know a little bit.
Also,
I know.
like I've been doing astrology for about 16 years too.
Yeah,
so
wow.
I don't
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I don't portray it on the website. It's not on the website, but I do create and generate natal charts for those who want to discover more about astrology and just get more informational about it. So I do that too.
Kind of when you dip on the spiritual side, it kind of all goes hand in hand.
Right, yeah.
You know, so, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You do yoga as well?
It's interconnected.
Yeah.
I do certain aspects of yoga. Reason why is because I have diastasis recti. So that's when you have a very large abdominal split. It stemmed from my pregnancies. So there's like a gap in my abdomen.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So a lot of core exercises I can't do, and a lot of the standard yoga positions I can't do because of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop me though from doing I do Kundalini yoga.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have to be very mindful of the type of yoga I do partake in, and also abdominal exercises.
Do you do the Bikram yoga, the hot yoga?
Oh, I've never tried that one, but I heard it's intense.
Yeah. I tried it before. Oh my God. I'm going to die.
No thanks. I'll pass.
It was cool though.
I can't even do
I
that.
can imagine
The
like
tree
you got
pose.
such a good sweat.
Yeah. You had to carry in some water. You better sip the water.
Yeah, you have to.
You did it, right?
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
When I went to LA, yeah.
You
My
liked
friends
it?
there into
Did it feel good?
I was uncomfortable, but after I felt really good
good.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
I
how
tried
hard you
yoga. It's just
No, not you.
It's not, man. Like I can't. The breathing and the tree. I got no balance. I stay in the moment, and I'm very aware. I stay in the moment, and then I focus on the breathing, inhale, exhale, and I'm switching the position. It just does not
Doesn't work
work
with you?
for me. It doesn't work.
Wow.
I'm just like.
But that's the beauty. Like there is like spirituality. There's so many aspects,
True.
and so many genres. And again, you don't have to do all of them. You don't have to just stick with one of them. You literally just gravitate to what
Yeah,
what
you're
touches your
absolutely
soul.
right. Yeah, so I have one more question. Are you happy?
Extremely.
You want
further
to
questions,
use your scale of 1 to 10?
No, because you could the way you answered the question.
Yes.
You don't
need to.
You don't even need it. You don't even need it. You know she's happy.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah.
All right, Rhonda, before you wrap it up, you sort of did it, but let us know how we can get in contact. People know how they get in contact with you.
Yes, please.
Oh, sure. So, for those who want to follow me on any of my social media platforms, I am on Instagram at Meraki Healing Energy. I'm also on Twitter now at Meraki Healing E1. I'm on Facebook as well at Meraki Healing and the number 3. I also have a LinkedIn for any kind of professional inquiries under Meraki Healing Energy, Rhonda Forrester. And you can always visit the website, see services, inquire about products, any consultations that you're interested in. I do give consultations for anyone who wants to just get more information in any of the services that I offer. So you can all visit merakihealing.online. And if you do follow me on social media, shoot me a DM if you have any questions. I'm open into, answering any concerns.
Well, I will be buying some of your products. So I'll be taking down your information.
All right, Rhonda, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Intense. So intense.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
You were great.
Great.
You were great.
This wraps another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nessa Can and Caprice.
That's me.
Take care and God bless.
Yes.